As you probably already know, good technical people are not easy to find. Let me tell you why. One of the other responsibilities that I have is that of a technical interviewer, where I need to assess the knowledge of our future colleagues and make hiring recommendations. In my experience, I've dealt with more mediocre developers compared with good technical ones, and usually, especially the beginner programmers, had some problems in the following areas. Shaky foundations due to what and how they learned so far to program. Mostly do the learning mechanically and not properly understand what they are actually doing. Unfortunately, I see more and more courses which claim to be beginner friendly where the foundations are skipped altogether. In some way it makes sense. The course needs to be sellable, so the organizers, the creators, make their courses flashy with things like you can build a state-of-the-art web application using the latest technologies. However, I think that this is not a good approach from a beginner's perspective who does not yet master the foundations. Yes, you will be able to come up with a single solution to a single very specific problem, but usually there are not two identical problems, so you need to adjust. If I slightly change the problem statement and you don't have a solid foundation, most likely you will get blocked and question yourself. I've seen it happen many times. The solution is to have a deeper understanding on how things work. But this takes time and you won't be able to really create fancy web applications in 3 months when starting from scratch. But then, how could one sell courses if not tackle fancy technology from the start? And from my opinion, this is the problem with the current courses. Instead of thinking about which technologies are more sellable from a course perspective, one should think about the knowledge the participant gains after the course. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying these are bad, it's just that they are not too well suited for absolute beginners who now have to deal with both the foundations and the new technologies. This makes everything twice as hard and the risk to give up significantly increases. You will have a bigger chance of success in learning how to ride a motorcycle if you know how to ride a bike first, right? Yes, I know there are exceptions, but for the majority, this does not happen. So learning first how to ride a bike is a safer bet for the future if you want to ride a motorcycle. Once you know how to ride a bike, you can learn to ride a motorcycle easier and it's up to you in which direction you want to go further. Enduro or racing, for example. These can be seen as the technologies you want to learn after mastering the foundations. Next, we have the harmful self-limiting mindsets. Things like, this is too complicated, this is hard, I don't have the skills to do it, this is not for me, I'm not a technical person or geek, and so on. This mindset will prevent you from trying to learn new things, which is a pity as it will restrict you in many ways. Anything can be learned, so make sure to give it a try before deciding whether you like it or not, or deciding that it's not for you for whatever reason. But make sure that you understand it first and try it out before taking a decision. Lastly, we have the lack of soft skills, which translates into a non-professional attitude. Unfortunately, I've seen this happen a lot in the IT industry, but I'm sure that this phenomenon is present in other industries as well. Call me naive, but I think that collaboration is key in achieving great things. So when you end up with a selfish person who is not willing to help colleagues and only thinks for himself or herself, things cannot improve. And if you are a beginner and start out with such a colleague, you will most likely copy these bad traits and end up in the mediocre C. When a person does not like to be told what to do and does not respond well to feedback when it is given, gets defensive and does not improve, this person is toxic and in the long run it will impact others in a negative way. I truly believe that you need to be open and willing to learn in this field in order to succeed. And most likely this happens in the other fields as well. We need to get past some of the negative behaviors we might have in order to get better. Given the source of these behaviors is vast, it can be, for example, cultural or various negative experiences and so on, it can be quite challenging to get past them, but once you understand the gain, it makes it a lot easier.